Hello and welcome to Circuit de Catalunya. In this video I will be showing you how you can run this race endlessly. Let's check the crew. I'll hire the manager because he's free and hire the agent. Well, free or not, I'd hire the agent. I want my sensitivity at 0 for this car and all assists need to be off. Now, announcements.
Warning, the following content is not for the racing purist. It will include intentional off-track cuts, drifting, skidding, intentionally hitting other cars, and all sorts of tomfoolery. However, it will allow you to go very, very far and earn handsome currency.
The race announcer insisted on warning the crowd before I started because there have been complaints about this type of racing in the past. Okay, we're gonna take a cut right away. You can't stay on track if you want to run this endlessly. From this point we stay full throttle through here. In a lot of cars you have to brake for a little bit there or lift. Then we're braking pretty late but not too late. You want to get back into the gas pretty early there. This hairpin, it's very easy to lose traction and that's going to waste your time, so be careful on that one. Coming up here, you want to brake a little bit earlier than you think you should and get back into the gas early. Wonderful overtaking zone there. Staying full throttle through this section. Went a little bit off track there, didn't want to. Then you're going to brake early and cut this. And the main reason why I'm cutting here is to avoid traffic. It really bottlenecks there and you can lose a lot of time. Then we're going to lawnmower our way across this. And finally, you zip through this last chicane and repeat. Now, race location. You'll head over to Road Collection, Exclusive Series, McLaren MP4X, over to Tier 9, and then it's race number 3. Now, I'm on the brakes. You see that on the brakes? And then there, I started sliding badly. I got off the gas and got back on as soon as I retained control. If you start sliding, you lift off the throttle, you turn the direction you're sliding, and then get back on as soon as you possibly can. And here we'll show how easy it is to slide out there. I'm feathering the throttle, trying to find traction. At the end of this race, I'm going to show you something really interesting that I never knew until I was trying to figure out how the R dollars work when you hire the manager. It is definitely not what I expected and is quite surprising. Okay, there we go. It was a much better time taking that cut. I didn't nail the wall that time, and look at this. Nice pass on track. If you take a look, my distance did not turn red. You really have to know your boundaries and how to handle the car to do this type of racing. Let's warp ahead a bit. Here we are at lap 7. I've taken you here to show you the Perpetual Point. The Perpetual Point is the point of the race where the bots will just keep appearing again and again, and you could go forever if you want to. So see how there's just one bot there? Watch what happens. There we go, there's a second bot, look ahead of him, and you'll see that there's a third bot. And I tried to cut under him and it didn't work. Okay, so the hardest part of any endless endurance race is right before this point. You've probably run lots of endurance races by now, and you probably know that towards the end of the race, you get less and less bots until there just aren't any. This is what happens just after that. And the only way to get here is to run extremely fast back-to-back lap times. So you have to have fast back-to-back laps. If you got a really bad one, then you need a bunch more fast back-to-back laps. And that's just the way that this works. There's currently only one race I know of in the entire game that you could run endlessly without ever taking a cut. And I'll put a link to it here. It's at Indy Speedway. And you used to be able to do that in the McLaren P1 GTR, but that got stopped a long time ago when they reconfigured the race. But there still is one version. It just doesn't pay very good at all. But I still do it sometimes for fun. It's an extremely challenging race. Okay, so here you can see that I'm doing okay. I'm going to start skipping that first cut once I fill my timer. My timer is still low. You might not think it's very low, but if I have a major mishap, then I will not be getting very far in this race. And you gotta watch out for those ghosts. It takes them 5 seconds to disappear. And you gotta watch out here when you're driving off track. If you hit a bump and go airborne, and you're steering, you'll spin a full 180 in the air. Okay, warping ahead some more. We're now at lap 14, and I'm going to try to skip this first cut for my first time. And that was not very good at all. My goodness. As you can see, you can afford some mistakes at this track. This is just my 4th time doing this particular track on this particular car. First time I did it is the first time I did this series, and I didn't run it again. Then recently someone asked me to test this out, so I did. And I didn't run it aggressively enough, and I never saw the Perpetual Point. Then I did it my 3rd time, and I did hit the Perpetual Point. Did a wonderful race, had a great recording. Man, I accidentally deleted it. So this is my 4th time doing the race. Okay, that guy's disappearing, and you gotta be careful because you can also hit ghosts and already damage your car, but I'm really damaged at this point. Like, I've got maximum damage. So that means that I have lost my grip. Like, not totally, but I've taken a hit. All right, we've warped ahead some more. And now you'll see that I'm doing better with this. Still not perfect though, but doing better. We're gonna show that one more time. My goal is to hit triple-digit distance and then stop. And I'll stop right at the start-finish line so I can get you really accurate fame numbers as far as my fame per lap. I need to get fame per lap, and then I can get fame per minute. Still having trouble on that corner now and again, but this is a wonderful overtaking spot. You really want to maximize it. Full throttle through here. And with this much traffic, it is really beneficial to take this cut. So there you go, 1, 2 cars passed right there. I'm going to get in front of the bot that's disappearing. Take up, oh, see, there you go. Because my grip is suffered from all my damage, I could not take that the same way. But look at that. You got to be careful in this car. This car is not very forgiving when you're off track. Not very forgiving at all. Other cars are. This one is not. So this is a lot harder than you might think. A lot of people say, oh, it's so easy if you go off track. Oh, and I didn't do very good again. I did take that good quite a few times. Anyway, it's not as easy as it looks. And if you try it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It takes a while to get the handle of this car off track and on track. This car is an absolute monster. So it's one of my favorite cars, but my goodness, this guy's a monster. When he loses traction, he just keeps sliding. So it can be hard to tame this beast. You might notice I'm staying all on track now because I don't want to pass any more cars. I do not intend to fill my timer at all anymore. I'm going to be wasting my leftover time and sitting at the line. Even then, look at that, I caught up. Makes you wonder how many more cuts I could have skipped after reaching the Perpetual Point and kept going. Look at this thing slide. Do a little donut, and then I'm gonna fast forward this. I don't wanna make you watch all this while I waste time. Right at the line and come to a close. Okay, here's this weird $R math I was telling you about. So you double that amount, but then it takes my full clean race bonus and my reduced clean race bonus, and then my friends total. You got to add all that together to get that number. Isn't that strange? I never knew that before. And here are the corrected fame numbers where I have extracted the 30% properly. It makes quite the difference. Instead of 910 fame per minute, we go up to 1,000. It's actually 999.45, but correct a mistake here or there, you get 1,000 or more. As you saw in the race, I was able to take less cuts later in the race and earn even more fame per minute. So this is an attractive option that actually pays more than the Ferrari FXXK at Porsche Short. Fully upgrading this car gives you that race plus the option to learn the Le Mans race, which is the highest earning one. Here's a link to the Monster Le Mans race in this car and a few others. Thanks for watching.